Today I thought it would be fun to test out some more viral products, but also test out some more dupes for some viral products. I've done videos like this before where I've tested out like super influencer hyped, popular viral products and also affordable dupes for those. And I thought that it would be fun to do this video where I kind of compare the dupe and the original in the same video, so you don't have to wonder about one or the other. So for this video, I decided to test out dupes for the ever viral, ever popular Stanley cup, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick that I've heard has like an exact dupe, and then also a dupe for Skims, which is Kim Kardashian's very expensive clothing brand. So we're gonna test all of these out, compare and contrast them to their dupes. I own a couple of these things already, so I'm gonna be testing out the dupes for you, letting you know the price difference, if I think it's worth it, if you should go with the original, if you should go with the dupe. You know, I'm doing a little scientific experiment here for you today. I wanna quickly say before we get into it that obviously no one needs these products. This is number one, just for fun, and number two, to serve as like a little bit of a guide in case you have been curious about these products, you want to know if they're worth the hype and also if they're worth spending your hard-earned money on. So I will be a harsh critic in this. I will do my best to try to review it as thoroughly as possible. So we're gonna jump into these products and see how they compare to each other and see if the dupes are just as good as the original. So let's do it. So first and foremost, like I said, we're gonna test out a dupe for the Stanley cup. I feel like this little cup has really taken the internet by storm. It is absolutely like the most viral thing that I've seen in a really long time. My boyfriend's nieces are 12 and 8 and we got them Stanley cups for Christmas. That was at like the top of their list. It was such a big deal when they got them. They're popular with like kids and adults alike. And it's a cup that keeps your drink cold. It's an insulated metal cup. So my 30-ounce Stanley cost $35, and then this Amazon dupe that I had seen all over the internet, which I think is available at other retailers as well, is by the brand Simple Modern, and this one is $23.99. So a little bit of a price difference there. It's actually $11.01 difference to be exact, but I have heard really good things about this when it comes to like leak prevention and keeping your drinks colder longer than the Stanley. So I had to know about this. I'm gonna do my very best to compare the Stanley and the Simple Modern to each other and let you know the difference between them. We're gonna unbox it, we're gonna test it out, you're gonna follow me around, and then we're gonna see how it goes, so let's do it. All right, the time has come. I have been waiting so impatiently to open this, and I just need to know what it's like. So far, we have two different straws, and these are like completely opaque straws, as opposed to the Stanley straws, which are like more of a sheer kind of straw. Then for the cup itself, dun 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 dun. Okay, cute. I mean, it's a cup. So the top is obviously totally different than the Stanley. It only has the straw hole, whereas the Stanley lid has like a very different design. It has the hole for the straw, but then if you move it, there's also like a mouth hole in case you want to drink it like in a sip kind of style, which is nice. The thing that I'm the most curious about is like the leak proof aspect of it. This lid definitely seems a lot more leak proof. It is like a twist on lid, similar to the Stanley. And I mean, the bottom part of it is pretty much exactly the same. So here we go. This one's the Stanley, this one's the Simple Modern. I mean, very, very similar cups. The Simple Modern one has like a bit of a smaller handle, you can see, and like more of a ergonomic design, if you will.
Oh my god, corporate girlies need this cup.
So yeah, we're gonna fill these both up with water. I'm gonna do a spill test, and then I'm also going to do like a 24-hour test and just sip on it throughout the day. Today's gonna be an editing day for me. Just kind of see how it goes throughout the day, how it holds up, if it compares at all, because I know for the Stanley, it holds cold drinks for like a day, around a day. So we're gonna see if this does the same. And you know, I'll give you my first impressions and then just like kind of my overall thoughts at the end. So first things first, and the thing that I'm the most curious about is filling this up, testing it out, and then testing out if it's leak proof. So let's do it. The only thing I can notice so far is just that the Simple Modern straw feels a lot cheaper. This feels like a dollar store straw or like a Target dollar spot type of thing. So okay, let's fill these up with water. Okay, just as a reminder, this is the Stanley, this is the Simple Modern. Here we go. This one definitely is leaking a little bit. Like you can see, especially coming out of the straw, but when you just have the straw completely covered up, it like barely drips out. Like really nothing is coming out that much. Now let's try it for this one. I'm like wasting all of my good water. Okay, let me try the dupe without the straw and see how that goes. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's leaking. I feel like what Stanley has done is like just become this coveted thing. They have like really become experts at branding. It was like a slow burn at first. They were like super limited. You had to sign up for in-stock alerts to get your hands on one of them. And then it became popular with like the younger generations, and now they're obsessed with them, but like really it's just a cup. Like this is the exact same thing, but based on first impressions. They look almost identical, they feel almost identical, but now all that's left to find out is if they perform almost identically. So as I mentioned, I'll take it with me throughout the day. I think I'm gonna hold on to both of these and just see like how much ice is left, what the temperature difference is between the two, and I guess I'll probably give this like a full 24 hours. So, you know, check in with you throughout the rest of the day, and then we'll check in the morning and see how it goes. All right, so the next day, it's been about 24 hours, and sorry, I got sidetracked because I was gonna say I don't hear any ice in them, but I feel like with the Stanley, I don't. With this one, I might hear a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's like minuscule and tiny, but I mean, there's none in this one. Let's do a little test and see what the temperature is like for both of these. I had this idea last night and we're just gonna go with it. Okay, here we go. Cup number one. How low does it go down? It is coming in at around 36.7 degrees. It's coming in at 32.7 degrees. Okay, I guess this one keeps it a little colder. It's about, I think, $12 cheaper or something like that. So the final consensus is, I think the dupe is totally worth it and honestly better. Like, you don't need this expensive one. You can just go for this slightly less expensive one, but overall, pretty impressed. Okay, so for some final thoughts, the pros and the cons of this. I know the Stanley definitely has a decent amount of colors, but this Simple Modern one has 30 colors to choose from on Amazon, which is pretty incredible. That's like, you know, you can find something for everyone there. And then of course, as you saw, it's better with leaks. So, you know, if you tip it over, if you spill it, if it tips over in your purse or whatever, you're definitely much more protected than you would be with the Stanley. However, when the straw is in it, it's kind of similar. So I don't know, do with that what you will. I think Stanley really is all just about the branding and less about the performance, but I could be wrong. If you have another dupe that you really enjoy, definitely let me know in the comments below. I've heard about the Awala, I've heard about Hydro Flask. There's another one that people are using at the moment that has like a little flip top, so definitely let me know if you want to see me test out more of these in the comments below. But so far, this dupe that I tried is honestly worth it in my opinion. I think it's really good and it's gonna get like 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have the ever popular Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick that everybody talks about. I use it. It's like one of my most worn lipsticks. I wear it pretty much every day, but I heard that there was a much more affordable dupe for this exact lipstick, and apparently the shade is super similar and it's by L'Oreal. So I was like, okay, I obviously have to try this out. So it's the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick. And the shade is called Fairest Nude. And then I did my best, because I love the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner as well, to find a drugstore version of that. So I did a bunch of online research and tried my best to come up with the most similar, most recommended dupe for the lip liner as well. So for the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, the full size is $35, which to me is just so expensive for a lipstick. And the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick is $10.89. So huge difference there. It's a difference of about $24. For the lip liner, I tried my very best to find as similar of a lip liner as possible. I saw a lot of people recommend a NYX lip liner. The one I found was in the shade Nude Pink. So the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner is $25 and the NYX lip liner is $4.99. Are you kidding me? That's such a huge difference. This definitely has been a super viral thing that I have seen in the beauty makeup online community. So we're gonna test it out and see how it is. Let's do it. Okay, so for this lipstick, dupe situation, I'm very curious. I have the Charlotte Tilbury lip combo on right now. I've been wearing this pretty much as my everyday lip combo for like 2 years. It's definitely not super long wearing because it's just a lipstick, but if I can find something for a little bit cheaper, then like obviously I'm gonna wanna go with that. So this is what the Charlotte Tilbury combo looks like on my lips right now. And then I thought I would try out this little combo. I've only swatched it so far, and so far the swatches are like wildly different. I don't know if the internet just steered me wrong, or maybe when you put it on your lips it looks similar. This Charlotte Tilbury one does look a little bit darker on my lips because of how fair I am, so I think it just varies from person to person. So I thought that I would give you a little baseline here. This is what the more expensive combo looks like on my lips, and then I thought I'd wipe it off and we would try the cheaper one. I'm always about the drugstore finds, so let's try it out. I have basically no expectations going into this, other than I noticed that this L'Oreal lipstick is a little bit more just like creamy. Seems like it has a little bit more of like a shiny texture, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one is very matte. Okay, so far, yeah, I'm noticing it is more pink, but it is really pretty, so let's keep going. I will say that this NYX one is a little less creamy than the Charlotte Tilbury. It's definitely more of a like firmer, less like of a glide type of texture, but it is nice. So okay, that is what the lip liner is looking like. It's definitely more pink, but it's still really pretty. So even if this isn't like a perfect dupe, I mean, as long as it's a cute lip combo, I don't care. So okay, here is the L'Oreal lipstick. It did have like some holes in the sides, and it was giving me a little bit of like Jaclyn Hill lipsticks situation trauma. Whoa, the texture is so different. I also don't really know if I feel like this lip liner and lipstick are a match. The lip liner is so pink and the lipstick is much more of a nude, so we're gonna just like try to erase the lip liner thought out of my mind and just go off of the lipstick. But the texture is so much creamier. The Charlotte Tilbury one definitely has like almost like a tint of like a vanilla scent, something very, very, very subtle. And this one just smells like, it smells like lipstick. That's the only way I can describe it. I will put in a side by side of what it looks like with the Charlotte Tilbury and the dupe. I don't know if I would say this is an exact dupe. Like, I don't know if it's, super exact, but it is comparable, I would say. Like, they're in the same neighborhood. I would totally wear this lip combo, and like, I absolutely will as time goes on, but I just don't know if I would consider it an exact dupe. I have a strong feeling that because this is much more of like a creamy kind of texture, it's not gonna last as long, so I would consider it to probably last just as long as like a creamy lip gloss or something like that. But it is really nice, like very rich. If you're on the market for a really nice sort of like alternative option to a very expensive lipstick, then I would say go for it, but definitely don't expect an exact dupe, It's not exact, but it is very close. All right, so for the pros and cons, starting with pros, the obvious biggest pro is the price difference. I mean, hello, that is like an insane difference in price. So that is obviously the biggest benefit of this dupe. It's also really accessible. You don't have to go to like a Sephora or anything like that. You can go to your local drugstore, you can go to a Target, you can go to a Walmart, wherever carries L'Oreal, which is like everywhere. And then for the cons, as I mentioned, there's a really strong smell to the lipstick. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not a pleasant smell to me at all. It smells like, I don't know, wax or something. There's also much more for the lipstick, a little bit more of like a sheen as opposed to the Charlotte Tilbury one, which is more of a matte. The NYX lip liner has a much drier lip formula. I used it today and I still really enjoy it. It's just if you're comparing it to the other one, it's not the same formula. It's definitely much more dry, but it still works really great, but I thought I would mention that. And then finally, it's not the most long wearing lip combo in the world. Neither is the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not supposed to be like a 12-hour long wear type of thing, but it does last longer than the drugstore version. So if you don't mind doing little touch-ups throughout the day, then I think that it would be a fine dupe for you, honestly. I'm gonna give this like a 3.5 out of 5. It didn't blow my mind, but it's definitely similar. Do you know what I mean? And last but not least, I wanted to test out this dupe situation for a really long time because Skims is all over the place. Everyone has been talking about Skims, their size inclusivity, the fact that they have really nice basics. You know, I buy their underwear. I've found that a lot of their bras are amazing. I've tried some of their loungewear before, but I've seen everyone talk about this Fits Everybody t-shirt. I may have tried out something in the Fits Everybody material in a main channel video at some point, but I don't know if I've ever tried the actual t-shirt. So I decided to order one of the t-shirts because there is this dupe going around on Amazon that all these articles were talking about. I had seen it on TikTok and it was a much better price and has a bunch of colors and everyone was saying it was very, very similar. So I was like, okay, let's test it out. So the Skims Fits Everybody t-shirt is $48, kind of expensive. And then the Amazon dupe is $19.99. So I think this is the biggest price difference. It's about $28 of a price difference, which is crazy. So I simply have to know if there's a dupe out there that's a similar material and feels the same and looks the same, then why would I spend money on the other one, you know? So I have to know. We're gonna test these both out, try them on, and see how they compare, so let's do it. Okay, got both of the shirts here. Haven't opened either of them yet because I genuinely want to get like my first impressions, comparisons, etc. So we have the Skims and we have the Amazon dupe right here. I've been on the hunt for a good classic black t-shirt anyway, so we're gonna start with the Skims one first. Comes in like similar packaging. I believe this Skims one is compostable or at least recyclable. So, okay, here is what it looks like. Oh my, it's like almost athletic material. Strange. This is not what I expected at all. This material is called polyamide, I believe, and it's mixed with elastane, and I think that's what is like the same material in both of these. So here we have it, extra large. It's like slightly cropped. We're gonna put it on so you can see what it looks like, but I do want to do like a little bit of a feeling comparison to the Amazon dupe. So okay. Okay. It feels a little bit more like, I don't know, spandex. And then I don't know if you can tell the color difference between the Amazon dupe, but it's like much shinier and it does kind of look like a leotard or something like that type of material, or almost like bathing suit. So interesting. I wouldn't necessarily call these dupes for each other. You can like see the difference on screen. So okay, we're gonna put them on because that's the real test, is like sort of seeing what they look like and how they fit and how they hang on the body and stuff. So let's start with the Skims one and then we'll compare. Okay, so for a reference point to start with, here we have the Skims one. It fits amazingly. It hangs on the body lovely. That is one thing that I will give kudos to Miss Kim for. I do actually think that I'm gonna hang on to this. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this just for like review purposes, but I love the feeling of this and I'm a little surprised by that. I thought it was gonna be annoying because it's more of like an athletic material. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like really thick pantyhose, but like opaque. But it's still thin at the same time. I don't know how to describe it, but it fits great. So here is what it looks like, and we will do a little comparison with the dupe. Okay, and here we have the dupe. So much more of an opaque color, much shinier, much different feeling overall. Like I said, maybe I would compare it to like a thin bathing suit kind of material. I don't know, it's very confusing, but I don't really love the feeling of this. It feels much more like athletic wear, and I'm more of a cotton kind of girly, so I should have known that going into this, but there's quite a price difference between the two of them. So, I mean, if you're looking for a nice basic to have in your closet and you really don't want to shell out $48 or whatever it is for a t-shirt, completely understandable. But I will say, as far as like a dupe goes, like meaning a duplicate of the product, a very similar item to the original, I would disagree with that completely. You can just tell that this is a little bit more cheaply made. It's just like not the same fit. I can feel a lot of like wrinkles in it as well, whereas the other one has like absolutely zero wrinkles. It's almost like a seamless type of vibe. I will say for both of these, like I think that it would be pretty sweat wicking. So that's great. That's a plus, that's a benefit. This one for sure, you would never have any kind of like sweat marks. So if you're a sweaty gal like myself, and that's something that, you know, you have to worry about when you wear t-shirts, I don't think you would have to worry about this at all. It's also not see-through at all, similar to the other one. So I'm just a harsh critic, and like, do I think that for a cost-efficient alternative version it's good? Yes, absolutely, but I don't think it's a dupe. And I don't know if I'm like taking the word dupe too seriously, like if I'm the dupe police. I don't know what's going on with that, but to me it's a cute shirt and it's similar to the Skims type of vibe, but it doesn't compare in my opinion. And so for the pros and cons for this one, the pros are that there's a good price difference, as I've mentioned in every single one of these, but it is comfortable and it's also a really cute fit. I think the fit is adorable and kind of similar, and it's also fast shipping. Those were the main things that I could think of. Those are like the biggest pros of all of this. However, the cons are that the material just isn't the same to me. It may be the same actual material, but the feeling is totally different. I also noticed that the Amazon dupe only goes up to a size extra, extra large, whereas Skim goes up to like, I believe a 4X. So that's something to note as well if you are a plus size girly and you're looking to get a really cute t-shirt. It'd be really great to wear in the summer for like sweat purposes. I honestly would love it for that. It would definitely keep you very cool. So while I could see why people would consider these similar to each other, I don't think it's exactly a dupe, but I don't think it's bad either. So do with that what you will. These are obviously just my opinions, but overall, I don't know, I'll give it probably like a 2.5 out of 5. I feel pretty neutral about it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about these products, or if you want to see another video where I test out more dupes for viral products or just viral products in general, definitely leave it down in a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!